This is the Yay or Nay Show with Alex C. A sports show for sports fans by a sports fan. And now, here is Alex C.
Okay, we got a few things to get into today. Let's start here. Some news coming out of USA Basketball. They announced the Golden State Warriors Steve Kerr as the next Olympic men's head coach. And I would say that that's a good decision. I don't think anybody would dispute the fact that that's a great decision. Steve Kerr has done a phenomenal job as the coach of the Warriors. Even in their down years, they were still competitive. You could tell that the team was just waiting for their current stars to get healthy, and they have definitely stayed competitive, and now they are back from the dead, and it's all due to Steve Kerr and his leadership. So again, USA men's basketball announcing Golden State Warriors Steve Kerr as the next Olympics men's head coach, and I think it's an absolute great decision. Now, the playoff picture, it's going to change because we're not even done with Week 15 yet. Tonight, we still got a couple of games to go. Last night, we had a couple of games take place. Let's talk a little bit about the NFL playoff picture, though. So the standings as they are right now, if we kick it off in the AFC, in the number one position, you have the Kansas City Chiefs at 10-4. Number two, you got the New England Patriots at 9-5. Number three, you got the Tennessee Titans at 9-5. Number four, you got Cincinnati Bengals at 8-6, and you got Indy at 8-6 as well. In the number six position, you got the LA Chargers at 8-6, and you got the Buffalo Bills in the seventh position at 8-6. Now, amazingly, on the outside looking in, you got the Baltimore Ravens also at 8-6. You know, as of last week, they were winning their division. They've, taken a skid the last few weeks. Again, the first couple of weeks, the losses that they took are understood. I did not and will not agree with John Harbaugh going for it on the 2-point conversion, which ultimately led to Baltimore losing that game and puts them really almost neck and neck with the Pittsburgh Steelers, who ironically really don't, but right now on paper have a shot at making the playoffs. But realistically, they don't really have a shot, but they are there along with the Las Vegas Raiders, another team who really doesn't have a shot at making the playoffs. Neither one of those two teams is going to win their way out of the rest of the season, so therefore they're not going to get in. Baltimore is really the only one who still is in the hunt. But again, it depends. John Harbaugh, if he continues to make bad decisions like he has, who knows? They just might be one of the few teams to actually be on their way to win their division that loses their way out of it, much like the Arizona Cardinals are in jeopardy of doing. But again, that's where we are with the AFC. Now flipping over to the NFC, Green Bay Packers in the number one position at 11-3, and they actually have now clinched their playoff spot. The Dallas Cowboys in the number two position at 10-4. Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the number three position at 10-4. And in the number four position currently right now, you got the Arizona Cardinals at 10-4, and you got the Rams who play tonight at 9-4. Number six position, you got the San Francisco 49ers at 8-6. And in the number seven position, you got the Vikings at 7-7. In the hunt, you have New Orleans, who I would say they are in the hunt because I don't think that seven position with the Minnesota Vikings is secure. Also in the hunt, but not really in the hunt. You got Washington. They'll probably get knocked out tonight once they lose to Philadelphia, who, again, if they win out, could possibly win their way in. They are also in the hunt at 6-7. Tonight's win over Washington, should they be successful in doing so, would go a long ways in setting them up. Because, again, I am not convinced that Minnesota is going to be able to hang on to that number seven position. Not that Minnesota's a bad team. I'm not saying that. It's just that, let's face it, they've had a lot of ups and downs for a lot of reasons, and they tend to fall apart. A lot of it self-inflicted. Nobody seems to really have their finger on the pulse as to why it keeps happening, but it does keep happening. So therefore, Minnesota, that number seven position, is not secured. These next few weeks are probably going to be a lot of fun to watch and see what happens with that number seven position. Meanwhile, power rankings. Let's go over the power rankings. And this week we're going to do it different. We're going to go backwards. We're going to go ahead and start from the top and work our way to the bottom. Number one, you got the Green Bay Packers coming in the number one position at 11-3. Absolutely, positively makes perfect sense. Kansas City at number two at 10-4. Right now it's You could argue it, but then not really. But you could flip some of these teams wherever you want to in regards to these next few positions, just because their records are pretty much the same. And then you got in the number 3 position, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 10-4. Coming in at number 4, you got the Dallas Cowboys at 10-4. Again, do I think they're going to be able to keep up with the number 4 position? I don't know. That offense is really weak. They got some tough games coming up. I don't know that Dallas is going to hang on to number 4, but they should probably be able to stay in the top 10. New England, number 5. What a place for a rookie quarterback to be. First year in the league, winning games. Yeah, they just took a loss, but that's a loss that you could take because it's against a very good team and it's against the team that's going to the playoffs. New England, again, number 5 at 9-5. The Rams, who play tonight, could increase their rankings with a win tonight over Seattle. They come in at number 9 at 9-4 at number 6. The number 7 position, Arizona Cardinals at 10-4. They are definitely in risk of slipping from number 7. I actually think they will. It's pretty much a no-brainer that they're going to. I don't give them much of a chance against Indianapolis on Saturday when they play. Tennessee coming in at number 8 with a 9-5 record. The Buffalo Bills at 8-6 coming in at number 9. Number 10, you got the Indianapolis Colts at 8-6. Number 11 on the outside looking in to the top 10, you got San Francisco 49ers at 8-6. You have the LA Chargers with the same record, 8-6 in the number 12 position. Baltimore Ravens, again, outside looking in as far as the playoffs go, still have a shot, coming in at number 13 with an 8-6 record. Cincinnati Bengals, a team that's been struggling. They win, they lose, they win, they lose, but even when they win, they look bad. I don't think they're really a top 20 team. I just think they're not ready. Maybe they're not ready to handle success. Maybe it's the youth of the team that's the problem. And if that is the problem, then we will see a better output from them next year. But right now, they're sitting at number 14 with an 8-6 record. I don't think they hold on to their division, to be honest. Again, in the AFC, I think there's a lot of moves yet to be made based on these next few remaining games. Pittsburgh, again, outside looking in, on paper, it looks like they got a shot. They're not going to be able to win out the rest of the season, so therefore I don't think they really got a shot at the playoffs. They're coming in at number 15 with a 7-6-1 record. At number 16, one of the hottest teams in the NFL, 7 in a row, I believe it is, for the Miami Dolphins, 7-7. They don't really have a shot at the playoffs, I don't believe. Even if they win their way out, I don't know that they could win their way in. But again, they've had a great second half. They had a great second half last year. I blame the coaching. I don't think it's Tua that's the problem. Again, I've said this a lot of times. I think if you're going to look to fix the problem, it all starts with Coach Flores. They've got to take a look at him seriously and look at making a change in Miami if they want this team to play more consistent. Number 17, on the outside looking in for the playoffs, New Orleans Saints, 7-7. They're not going to win their way out, so therefore they cannot win their way in. But again, at least they've showed a little life coming in at number 17 with 7-7. Same thing with the Cleveland Browns. On the outside looking in, I think that's where they're going to end up. I don't think they really are going to make the playoffs. I don't think they can win out, so therefore they're not going to be able to win their way in. They would have to win out to win their way in, but they're currently number 18 with a 7-7 record. Vikings, we talked about this. I don't think they're going to hold on to the 7th position in the NFC. I think they're going to lose another game, which pretty much would knock them out. Currently right now, though, however, they are ranked number 19 with a 7-7 record. Number 20, Denver Broncos, 7-7. This is a team that's a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You don't know what you're going to get from week to week. Again, they've had a lot of question marks for a very long time in regards to quarterback. They've got to figure out the quarterback position, and then you can really assess the rest of the Denver Bronco team. But until they figure out that quarterback position, it's hard to say whether you've got a problem with coaching or with any of your roster because, again, you haven't got it right in the quarterback position, and it's been a while since you got it right. So they've got a lot of figuring out to do in regards to the quarterback position this offseason. Denver, while on paper it might look like strategically they got a shot at making their way into the playoffs, again, they'd have to win out, so therefore they're not going to, so therefore they're not going to win their way in. Number 21, same thing with Vegas. They'd have to win out to win their way in. It's not going to happen. Vegas, number 21 at 7-7. Washington football team, I think they get eliminated tonight when they play the Eagles, and pretty much they're almost eliminated as it is anyways. Washington at number 22 with a 6-7 record. Philadelphia coming in at number 23. They could go up in rankings and they could boost their way into the playoffs by winning out, possibly. Again, Minnesota would have to lose. Philadelphia would have to win their way out. If they do, they'll win their way in. Currently number 23 with a 6-7 record. The Atlanta Falcons, number 24 at 6-8. This is a Dr. and Jekyll team. I said, you don't know what you're going to get from this team. We didn't know what they were when we were in the preseason. And as I've said since the preseason, we didn't know what they were. A lot of NFL analysts overestimated this team, thought they were going to be good. I don't know what it was they saw, and I've been saying it since, again, the preseason, because I didn't think they made any moves in the offseason to really improve this team. So I don't know what made them think the Atlanta Falcons were going to be a contender. The fact that they did better than I thought, because honestly, I thought they were a 4-win team if I, really was going to voice what I thought they were going to be. So they've done a little better than what I thought they would. Currently, right now, they're at number 24. Here's a team that I thought would be in the top 3 preseason-wise. Now, looking at them, I'm a little surprised. But again, Russell Wilson injured. Then when he comes back, he still isn't at full form. Takes a couple of weeks to get your form back. Now he's back in form, but it's too little too late. Coming in at number 25, it's Seattle Seahawks with a 5-8 record. Carolina Panthers, number 26 with a 5-9 record. There's a lot of talks about the coaching seat for Matt Rule being hot. A lot of people think he's going to get kicked out at the end of the season. Some people think it will be quicker than that. Apparently, there's a new rule that allows people to interview other coaches, even if they're on another roster, 2 weeks prior to the end of the season, unlike years before. So there's a lot of talk about coaching moves that are actually going to get made before the end of the season, for the simple fact that you can now express your interest and start to interview coaching candidates 2 weeks before the end of the season, which I believe they're saying would be next Tuesday, would be their opportunity to start talking to all these coaching, or I should say potential coaching candidates. Matt Rule, hot seat. Is it real? A lot of people seem to think so. I don't know that it's justified. The mistakes that have been made aren't necessarily his. Again, they picked up, I guess, the 5th-year option on Sam Darnold. That's a mistake. I don't know why you would do that. It's already been done, apparently. Sounds to me like there might be another problem upstairs in the general manager's seat. Maybe they should look at him before Matt Rule. Matt Rule, to me, is a pretty good coach. A lot of people respect him. A lot of people like him. The players seem to like him. He doesn't seem to have the problems that other coaches have had. He hasn't lost the locker room, from what I understand, as far as all the reports go. So, again, Matt Rule's seat being hot, maybe it's not justified. Maybe they need to look one seat above his at the general manager first and then see what happens. Because, again, I don't know why you would re-sign your current quarterback when he can't stay healthy and he just hasn't seemed to shown you that he's a really true starting quarterback. And, of course, I'm talking about Sam Darnold. Number 27, here's a team with a lot of question marks in regards to general manager, coach. Are they going to fire the general manager, keep the coach? Are they going to blow out both? Are they maybe just going to keep them both and see how it works out because they still believe in them and they believe in the coach? There's a lot of questions in regards to the New York Giants. But right now, they're number 27 with a 4-10 record. Lots of questions, quarterback position, coaching position, general manager. I don't think anybody really knows which direction the Giants are going to go as far as the ownership's concerned. It's going to be fun to watch. But again, a lot of questions, no current answers. If there's going to be a move made, and this would go for any team, again, it's probably going to be really soon because the job has to be open in order for the team to have the ability to talk to any of the coaching candidates starting next Tuesday. So they have to have already released their current coach in order to interview a coach 2 weeks prior to the end of the season. I guess that's how the loophole goes. Number 28, Chicago Bears took a beating last night against Minnesota. Again, another coach. Everybody's talking about him being gone. Again, everybody's talking about him being gone now because they think that Chicago wants to start doing their interviews now since they're available to do so starting next Tuesday. Is Matt Nagy done? Are the players, basically just going through the motions because they know he's not going to be here next year? That's a great question. I don't know the answer. All reports say yes. But again, Don't know. Is the general manager going to stay and they're just going to get rid of Nagy and give the general manager one more year? Are they both going to go? Are they going to release the general manager and keep Matt Nagy and let him have another year because it's the first year of the quarterback, Justin Fields? There's a lot of questions there. A lot of people say no, that he won't get the opportunity because he's already shown that he doesn't know how to use Justin Fields and that he's not the coach to develop Justin Fields and that he will hinder Justin Fields' development if he remains the head coach. So, again, a lot of questions, a lot of speculation. Time will tell for everybody, again, because starting next Tuesday, they can start interviewing potential coaching candidates. Number 29, you got the Detroit Lions at 2-11-1. Great team with a great victory over the Arizona Cardinals. They play hard. They never quit. Even in games they lost and they lost by double digits, they still fought hard. They never gave up. It was just that the other team was just better. But these guys fight hard. They're improving every week. They got a culture going on in Detroit. I think they're going to be a playoff contender, not a Super Bowl contender, but I think within the next 2 years, they're going to be a playoff contender as long as they stay on the right path, which is the path they're on now. Don't get crazy. Don't do anything with their coaching staff and make some good moves in the offseason and bring in some veterans. Don't necessarily rely on the draft. Bring in some veterans to help that culture build that much faster. Number 30, Houston Texans, 3-11. I mean, I don't know. This is a team that's got a lot of questions because, again, they have a lot of questions and you don't necessarily know what to attribute it to in regards to all the losing. Maybe they got to blow it up and, basically revamp the roster, bring in some veterans as well, but just totally blow it up, revamp the roster. I don't see them competing. I don't see them playing hard. Some games they look okay, decent, but they just don't seem to me to have a real winning culture. I think the quarterback that they currently have right now, he is good. You keep him. He's your baseline. He's where you start, and you start to structure the team around him. The kid has an arm. He's accurate. He's got a good acumen for the NFL. He understands the game. He seems to anyway from what I see. I think you stay with him, and you just try and build a team around him and see what you can make happen. New York Jets, Saleh needs to get fired. I don't know why you'd keep him. Rumor is he's safe. I don't know why he would be. A lot of mistakes. You want to talk about Urban Meyer? You want to talk about mistakes? Saleh hasn't made his kind of mistakes, but he's made mistakes. Everybody wanted to say that Urban Meyer didn't build a culture that showed you that Jacksonville was going to be doing anything in the positive in the upcoming years. Great. Understood. Agreed. Robert Saleh, same thing. I don't see anything in New York that tells me that these guys are looking to compete anytime soon. They look like they're just going to be the same team that they've always been. Right now, number 31 with a 3-11 record. Number 32, Jacksonville with a 2-12 record. Again, got to get a new coach. Got to work on that roster. They're going to have some good draft picks this year. But again, they probably need to go get some veterans. That will help the development of everybody. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody, because that whole front office needs to understand and learn what a winning culture looks like. They need to go grab some players that have been in a winning environment so they can bring that environment over to Jacksonville and help them structure a winning program. As far as the coaching, I have no idea in regards to who they're going to get or who they're looking at. Lots of names being tossed around, but again, those are just names. It's speculation. Nothing definitive as of yet, but there are a lot of good coaching candidates out there. But again, Jacksonville doesn't seem to be really good at hiring coaches, haven't really done a good job. We're 10 years in, they're going to be looking for coach number 5. So stability is not something that a coach can depend on when it comes to going to work for Jacksonville. So that might be a turnoff to a lot of candidates. Again, there's going to have to be a sales job being done by the team owner, Shad Khan, if he wants somebody to come and work for him when they know that it's been a revolving door so far, and this is not really a job you can rely on. If you don't win, and if they don't see anything fast, they seem to move away from you fast, and that's not really something that's going to attract somebody who's got a marquee name as far as coaches go. Tonight, you got the Rams going against Seattle. Again, the Rams should win that game. I don't think it's really going to be that tough of a game for them. I think it's a game where the Rams should run away with it. and that should help solidify their position as far as the playoffs go. But time will tell. Again, there's so many things going on in the NFL right now. There's so many games that are out there that still have to be played with a lot of implications in regards to the playoffs and what's going to be taking place. Like Thursday night, you got the 49ers and the Titans. Lots of question marks for the Titans, right? Who are they? Like right now, they are a team that's fighting hard. They play well as a team, but they have lost some games as of late, and it hasn't necessarily been bad losses, but that loss to Pittsburgh was one that probably shouldn't have happened. So it makes you wonder, where are they right now mentally? Are they just waiting and trying to survive till Derrick Henry gets back, or can they continue to win games like they've been doing before? Because, again, they've won a lot of games like Baltimore that they shouldn't have won. Can they do it again on Thursday against the 49ers? Because if they win that game on Thursday against the 49ers, it would be another game that they win that they should have no business winning. But again, they play well as a team. They got a great coaching staff. They got good structure. The culture is obviously good. The players are all bought in. They obviously believe in the system. They obviously believe in who they are. They obviously believe that they can make a run if they can make it to the playoffs. And I think they're obviously going to make it to the playoffs. They're leading their division as we speak. And if they can beat San Francisco, this might be the game that solidifies the division for them. But can they do it? I don't know that they can. They are still missing their wide receivers. But again, I've never allowed that to be an excuse. And again, speaking of the excuse birds, we're going to talk a lot about excuse birds tomorrow in regards to Tampa Bay and Dallas and a few of the other teams. We're also going to start talking about some hot seats as far as the coaches and stuff like that go. But I just think that the game Thursday night is going to be a very big and important one and pivotal for Tennessee, because if they can win, it's a great win. If they lose, it's not necessarily a bad loss. They'll still have a better record than most teams in the AFC. It'll only be their 5th loss of the season, and they'll be losing to a team that obviously is on their way to the playoffs and one of the hottest teams in the NFL and probably the best team in the NFC West right now in the San Francisco 49ers. So it won't necessarily be a bad loss, but it's definitely a win and a feather you would like to have in your cap, because if you can beat one of the hottest teams in the NFL, then you are definitely deserving to be in the playoffs and in the talk as far as the AFC goes for being an odds-on favorite to go to the AFC Championship game. Because as of right now, everybody's talking about them not being taken seriously, like just basically saying if they don't have Derrick Henry, they don't really have a shot. But if you could beat a team like the San Francisco 49ers, then you will prove all of these NFL analysts wrong. That's why I'm saying it's such an important game. The other game going on tonight is Washington-Philadelphia. But again, I don't think very much of this game. I think Philadelphia is going to walk away with this game. It's going to be a no-brainer. Philadelphia, if they want to pivot the right direction and make a run at the playoffs, they got to win out. And it all starts tonight against Washington because they shot themselves in the foot a couple of weeks ago with a loss that they shouldn't have had. So this is a game they should win. It's a game they should have. They got another game coming up against the Dallas Cowboys, which they need to have if they want to have a shot at winning the division, because the Cowboys also got a game against the Cardinals that'll be coming up. And if the Cardinals can beat the Cowboys, and I believe the Cardinals possibly can, if they can figure out what's wrong with them and, get all their ducks in a row again, they should, if you go paper on paper, beat the Dallas Cowboys, which means another 2 losses for the Cowboys means Philadelphia could work their way into maybe even winning the division, or at least, if nothing else, securing a spot in the playoffs. Again, there's a lot of things that can happen in the next few weeks. It's amazing how we're like 3 weeks out, and yet all of these games matter a lot for a lot of teams in regards to the playoffs, positioning-wise, where they're going to be, who's going to win the division. Remember, look at where we are, and we still don't have any clinches outside of Green Bay. As far as anybody clinching their division, we don't have anybody clinching outside of Green Bay. So it's absolutely the funnest time of the year as far as the NFL goes. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the results from tonight's game. We're also going to talk about the new power rankings for the NBA. And there's a bunch of other stories I want to go over as well. We don't have time to do it today, but we'll definitely do it tomorrow. You guys enjoy tonight's NFL action, and we will talk again tomorrow.